Hello there. Happy Saturday. I wanted to give an update for those that care about the mini marathon that I did. Indianapolis Mini Marathon. Did it on I want to say May 5th. So it's been a while. It's been quite a while actually. We did it on May 6th of 2023. So, man, just a little bit of feedback. Just the story, how we did, how it went. Mini marathon. The rules: you have to do 18-minute miles consistently. Otherwise, they have buses that pick up people that are moving too slow because it's Indianapolis, Indiana. They got to reopen the streets. They got to reopen the roads that you're walking on. It's a big event. There's a lot of people. They had different start times. My start time was the last one, which didn't start till 8 a.m. But there were a lot of start times that were before that, as well as they had a 5K. We were doing the full mini, the 13.1 miles. Leading up to it with training, it didn't go as well as I expected or wanted to. We did train consistently, but more so closer towards the mini than I wanted to. I was gung-ho in November, getting ready, training up, and then I got sick, and I was sick for like a month and a half, and I just couldn't force myself to get out there moving. When I started feeling better, we did start moving. I was consistently doing probably around 3 miles, at least once a week, a little bit more than that. I was working a lot on speed. I can move, I'm still a big guy. I'm over 300 pounds, just over. So it's hard to get myself moving. But regardless, with the training, basically, was trying to focus on speed, make sure we can consistently do 18-minute miles. It was a struggle. It's a struggle to do 18-minute miles. The mile itself, not a struggle. I can just walk for miles and miles and miles. No big deal. But doing it within a time frame or, a time lock is a little bit trickier. So I did it with my little sister. I trained with her as well. We felt like we were pretty good with the training. It's just the timing that was concerning. So the way they do it with the times, let me pull up my times as well. We did okay. They do it by 5Ks, 5K, 10K, 15K, 20K. As far as the timing of things go, the first 5K, which is a 5K is around 3 miles, give or take. First 5K, our pace was 17 minutes and 33 seconds, which is pretty decent. I think that's a pretty good pace considering we had to do 18-minute miles. We were well under that. We had approximately 20 to 30 seconds to spare. It was a lot of fun. There were some people that showed up in characters. There was a lot of entertainment along the ways, music to listen to. You get to walk on the Indy 500 racetrack. Just a lot of cool things. My main objective, because last time I did the mini marathon, I wasn't able to complete it. I wasn't fast enough, and they said, hey, we're closing down the racetrack. You have to get on the bus. This was not this time. This was the previous time, years ago. And I said, no, I'm not getting on the bus. I'll just walk back to the finish line on my own and not complete the race because they were not going to allow me to do it. I was too slow. My sister ran off, doing the race. So she did complete it, which I'm glad for her. This time we were really concerned. We're like, we got to get to the racetrack. We got to be able to get to the racetrack because last time I wasn't even fast enough to get on the racetrack. They closed it down. They're like, you got to get out of here. This time we were doing okay. Like I said, 17 minutes, 33 seconds was our pace. For walking, we walked the whole time. So that's not a terrible pace. For the first 5K, we're starting strong. There was this one little kid. It was pretty funny. She ran out ahead of us at one point. She was with a different group, obviously, not with us. But she ran out ahead of us, turned around, and yelled to the people in her group. She goes, "Hurry up, you slowpokes." And it was just funny because like I felt like she was talking to us. I'm like, oh, yep, we got to hurry up, It was just cute and funny. So that was something to mention. We did see her again later on towards the end of the race, and she was like, I can't do this anymore. I want to give up. And she's crying, and her dad's like, I'm not going to carry you. So it was good times. We did make it to the racetrack. We, of course, went around the racetrack. That was cool. It was cool to be there and be able to complete it. The next 10K, so the 5K after that, our pace was 17 minutes, 59 seconds. So a lot slower. Still under the 18-minute mile markage, but we had been slowing down. It had been a struggle. At that point with the 10K, it looks like it took us an hour and 51 minutes and 46 seconds for 10K, which is honestly pretty bad. The first 5K, we did it in 54 minutes and 31 seconds. So I guess just a little bit slower. And then Grace, my sister, did a really good job of keeping track of things on her phone because there's certain times you have to get to certain places before, like, otherwise if you're not there at a certain time, they're going to close it down and you're going to get on the bus. I was very paranoid. I was always looking behind us. Ever since we got on the racetrack, I'm like, where's the bus at? Are they going to make us get off? We got to complete this. Like, I want to finish. We kept moving. We did have to do a bathroom break on the racetrack. We tried to be quick. I finished before Grace did because she had a line. My sister, she had a line in the bathroom. So I took off, and then I texted her, called her, I'm like, hey, or yelled out to her, actually. I yelled out to her. I was like, hey, because I saw her come out. I'm like, hurry up, like, get up here. And I, explained, I just wanted to keep moving. I was done. I was ready. And I knew she could easily catch up because she has so much more energy than me. She is quite a bit younger. She's my youngest sister. Not a lot younger, maybe, well, I guess 5 years younger, I think. But regardless, she's younger. She weighs a lot less than me. Her body structure is a lot different. She's skinnier. She's pretty skinny. She's shorter, but she just more energy. She could have gone a lot faster if she wanted to, but she wanted to stay and complete it with me, which is cool. Keep in mind, we're at 10K, hour and 51 minutes. We only have 4 hours to complete it. Or 3 hours and 55 minutes, I think is what we're supposed to be at to do 18-minute paces. So we get around the racetrack, and I'm starting to hurt just because we're trying to move quickly. My muscles are cramping up a little bit. It wasn't terrible, but it was enough to make me cranky. So poor Grace, I'll get to this part. But the next 15K, so 15K total. So the next 5K, our pace went down to 18 minutes, 23 seconds. Not a good pace. Not a good pace to be on. Now, I think that pace, I think this is an average pace. Like, that's what our average was, including the faster paces. So we were potentially even slower than 18 minutes, 23 seconds during that 5K. We were still doing okay. We were concerned about the buses. At one point we got up and there was a bus parked right there, but thankfully they weren't there for us. They were just parking there ahead of time to pick up the people behind us. So we were doing okay. Now at this point we have, another 5K or so another 3 miles. We're at mile 10, 11, somewhere in there. And Grace is like, hurry up, let's go. And I was like, dude, just stop. Like, just stop. I'm like, go ahead. Like, just go off on your own. Leave me in the dust. Leave me here to die. Like, you're fine. Just go. And she's like, no, I'm just trying to push you and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, I've already gone 10 miles. I am already pushing myself. Like, I am pushing myself as far as I can go. I'm going as fast as I can move. And I don't think I held back any. I do think I did a really good job as trying to push myself, trying to maintain a quick pace. It's just once you're 10 miles into something, I mean, you're almost done, but you're still not there yet. You still got another 5K to go. and it's just a struggle. It's challenging. And then the next 5K, our pace was 18 minutes 36 seconds. Our net time was 3 hours 51 minutes 11 seconds. Then there's just a little bit left, and we did end up finishing. We're real close because there's a group of people that keep an 18-minute mile pace and that start they're the very last people to start. And if you get behind them, you get on the bus. Now, at around mile 10, mile 11, they caught up to us. And remember, they're doing the 18-minute mile pace. It's okay if you take a little bit longer than 18 minutes as long as you are consistently faster than them. So they catch up to us, and I'm like, oh no. And I asked them, I'm like, do we have to stay in front of you? And the lady was nice, but I was asking that, like I was here and she's right here. But it wasn't like I shouted to her. Like we were real close together. And I'm like, do we have to stay in front of you? And she's like, well, you are in front of me, so don't worry about it. I'm like, but then she, of course, walked past me, and I'm like, I'm trying, I'm doing my best, I'm struggling. And she gets in front of me, and then somebody else in her group, they wear shirts so you know who they are. They get up to me as well, and I'm like, man, like, are we sunk? Like, do we have to get on the bus? What? And he's like, so here's the deal. Like, you are supposed to go 18-minute miles, and we're still moving when we're talking, but he's like, you are supposed to do 18 minutes or faster. However, the bus has to stop and pick up the people that are even slow behind you. And he said, look behind you. And so this time I looked, I could see the bus. It was getting filled up with people, but there was still probably between it wasn't a lot, right? Wasn't a lot, but 50 to 100 people behind us still, between the bus and us. And he's like, all those people behind you, the bus has to stop and pick them up before it's going to pick you up. So I'm like, all right. So that eased my mind a little bit. So we keep walking, and we're walking, and we're walking, and we're almost to the finish line. We're at mile 12 or so. There was a little bit of struggle with seeing the mile markage for mile number 12. I don't know exactly why, but I never did see a sign that said mile 12, and I kept trying to ask him, like, did we pass mile 12? Are we at mile 12? Are we there yet? That kind of thing. So that was a little hard just to see where it was. And at one point, the bus is coming, and we're just barely in front of the bus where it stops everyone right behind us from finishing the race. And we're almost done. Like, we only have less than a mile or so, 1.1 miles, give or take, to be able to finish. And the bus is right behind us. So we keep moving. Nobody told us we had to get on the bus. Nobody told us we had to stop. So we kept going. We get on the final stretch. You can see the checkered flag. You can see the finish line. It's right there. And the bus drives past us. And I'm like, oh no. And Grace is like, relax. They're not going to make you get on the bus at this point. We're there. Like, we're done. We're there. But I'm like, we're not there yet. And I'm trying to go. So end results. Main thing to showcase, we did finish the whole mini marathon. It was a good experience. I'm glad we did it. It's made me rethink whether or not I am capable of doing a full marathon. I think that's just going to take a lot more training. It's going to be a lot longer before we'll be ready to do that. So total time, and Grace was 1 second ahead of me. So I finished 4 hours, 22 seconds, 4 hours, 4 minutes, 22 seconds. Grace was 4 hours, 4 minutes, 21 seconds. Now, but regardless, it was a good time. I'm glad we did it. We were successful in what we set out to. The first goal was get to the racetrack, which was approximately 5 to 6 miles in. Get to the racetrack on time, be able to finish it. And then the next goal was finish this darn thing, and we did it. I stretched pretty good afterwards. We did eat. I took a hot shower. Didn't sleep afterwards, which was interesting because I barely slept. leading up to it because we had to get up pretty early and I just had trouble sleeping the night before. But yeah, I was sore for a couple days, kind of hurt to move around. My ankles hurt a little bit. My feet were pretty sore. I wore, good walking shoes, but I was still pretty sore, but I could still move. It wasn't like I was like I couldn't move. You know what I mean? Like how sometimes people do a race or a long run and then their muscles just freeze up and they can't even move. I could still move. I was fine. But yeah, overall, really good experience. Did complete it. I don't know if we're going to do it again next year or not. But we do still want to stay in shape or, put the effort in, get in better shape. That's still a goal of mine as well. But yeah, I'm sorry for the long wait. I know I was said, we're going to do, videos on leading up to the mini, getting ready for the mini, and that just didn't happen. I did do training though, and we did complete the mini marathon. So, yeah, good news. Hope you guys enjoyed hearing that life update. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.